The Vietnam War was a time of economical, social, and political madness. 3 million people died in the Vietnam War for no real change. As a consequence of this, approximately 58,000 of those lost lives were American soldiers fighting for their country. The US decided to enter Vietnam to stop the spread of communism, and other determining factors played a large role in their participation.
In March of 1965, President Johnson launches a 3-year campaign of sustained bombing of targets in North Vietnam, and the Ho Chi Minh Trail in Operation Rolling Thunder. Consequently, that same month, US Marines landed on beaches near Da Nang, South Vietnam, as the first American combat troops to enter Vietnam.
An independence movement was formed under Ho Chi Minh, a revolutionary leader who was inspired by Lenin's Bolshevik Revolution. He established the League for the Independence of Vietnam, better known as the Viet Minh, in May of 1941. Due to the French rejecting this plan, the Viet Minh resorted to guerrilla warfare to fight for an independent Vietnam.
Geneva Accords were signed in July of 1954 and split Vietnam at the 17th parallel. North Vietnam would be ruled by a communist government, and South Vietnam would be led by Emperor Bao Dai. An election was scheduled to unify Vietnam, hence the US, fearful that a national election would lead to communist rule, ensured it never took place.
The temporary division of the country at the 17th parallel divided it into two ideologically opposed states, meaning that the civil conflict in Vietnam would collide full scale with the East-West rivalry, says Liang Hang Tien Nguyen, Dorothy Borg Associate Professor in the History of the United States and East Asia at Columbia University.
In the Cold War, Vietnam was divided when tensions between the US and the Soviet Union were at an all-time high. In January of 1950, China joined with the Soviet Union and as a result formally recognized the Communist Democratic Republic of Vietnam.
During this time, the U.S. practiced a policy of containment. President Harry S. Truman's Truman Doctrine pledged political, military, and economic assistance to democratic nations facing threats from communist forces. Consequently, his successor, President Eisenhower, believed that a communist victory in Vietnam would create a domino effect in Southeast Asia and therefore must be prevented.
On August 2nd, 1964, the USS Maddox encountered 3 Soviet-built torpedo boats in the Gulf of Tonkin. The US ship fired what it described as a warning shot and were met by enemy fire. Due to that, on the 4th of August, the US destroyer Turner Joy and the USS Maddox reported that they had been ambushed.
Since then, Turner Joy's account has been called into question by many historians. But because of this, on August 7th, the House and Senate passed the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution almost unanimously to grant President Lyndon B. Johnson the power to take all necessary measures to repel any armed attack against the forces of the United States and to prevent any further aggression.
These are just some of the many causes for this war in which more than 3 million people died for no real change. Because of this, many people and billions of dollars were lost meaninglessly, since the US would end up leaving and failing their ultimate mission to stop the expansion of communism.